Now in part 3 of all the Injustice 2 biographies so far, we have Cheetah, and her quote says, "I'm stronger, faster, and thirsty for Amazon blood." And she says that because she is a known rival of Wonder Woman. And now her biography says, when archaeologist Barbara Ann Minerva betrayed Wonder Woman to claim the powers of a god, she was unaware that she would be cursed to live a life transformed as the Cheetah. She now uses her primal powers to take revenge against Wonder Woman, drawing her out of hiding in hopes of bringing about her doom. So we know that obviously she's a very strong rival of Wonder Woman. Now with Cheetah, I am a person who I'm not looking forward to Cheetah. I'm not. I feel like the only reason she is in the game is because of the society, because maybe in the storyline, I haven't read the storyline, but maybe in the storyline she is a member of the society, and I feel like maybe that's the only reason she's in the game, is because the society is in the game, and that's why she's in it. But overall, I'm not looking forward to Cheetah. I've never really cared for the character. I guess the only positive thing about her, though, is she's probably going to be like a Flash character. She's going to be a speed fighter. So if you're a rookie, she'll probably be a good fighter to choose, because I feel like the speed characters would be the perfect fighters to choose if you're a rookie in these games. But overall, I'm not really looking forward to Cheetah, but you know, she could impress me and maybe make me like her more after the game. I don't know, but overall, I'm not looking forward to her. Next up, we have Cyborg, and his quote says, "Let's get this party started." And I really hope sometime in the game he says "booyah," because you know, I watched the Teen Titans cartoon growing up, so I really hope he does end up saying "booyah" sometime. And now his biography says, Victor Stone lost more than his friends at the tragedy of Metropolis. He lost his hope. His anger tempered his loyalty for Superman, and he has remained eager to serve the regime. With the world left unprepared for the looming threat, Cyborg may be the only one who can combat the technological might of Brainiac, which, you know, that probably is true because they're both basically robots. I think Cyborg does look pretty badass. Overall, I don't really have any negatives about him. Like I said, I do hope he does say "booyah" sometime, just like the Justice League movie. I hope he says "booyah" in the movie, because if he doesn't, I'm going to be a little upset. But, you know, I feel like nothing's going to be new with him. I think overall he looks cool. I don't think we've seen his super yet, unless I missed it. But yeah, I don't think we've seen it yet, so I don't know about that. I think his fighting style is going to be the same. So overall, I guess I'm looking forward to Cyborg, but, you know, not one of my most anticipated characters. Next up, we have a very interesting and obscure character, and that is, of course, Dr. Fate. And his quote says, "What comes next, mere mortals cannot stop," which maybe that's referring to Brainiac, because, you know, mere mortals probably can't stop Brainiac. Maybe that's what he's referring to. And his biography says, "Powerful sorcerer Kent Nelson wears the helm of fate and sees the fate of all mankind, for better or worse. He knows the world will end either by Brainiac's hand or in a war between Batman and Superman. Though the helm compels Kent to preserve this grim fate for the sake of order, Kent's humanity compels him to intervene on behalf of his heroic friends and risk the unforeseeable consequences." So that's a very interesting biography. I am looking forward to Dr. Fate. I think he definitely has one of the best designs, character designs. He looks amazing. Now, I heard sometime, I think it was on Twitter, right? And there were people who were calling him a Doctor Strange copycat. Now, I don't want to start the whole DC Marvel war or anything like that, but I love how Ed Boon tweeted out and pointed out that Dr. Fate came out before Doctor Strange, because that's what most people don't take into consideration with all these copycat things, is that they don't look to see who actually came first, like in comics, which Dr. Fate came first, then it was Doctor Strange, and there were people who saying he's a copycat of Doctor Strange when technically he's not. Like I said, I don't want to start that whole war of copycats, but I just love how Ed Boon, or whoever said it, pointed that out. And I think Doctor Strange looks amazing. Like I said, he has one of the best character designs. I think his super move is very cool, and his voice sounds phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to seeing Dr. Fate in Injustice 2. Next up, we have Green Lantern in his quote says, "My will is stronger than my hate." And his biography says, rehabilitated by the Guardians of Oa, I might have said that wrong, sorry, Hal Jordan overcame his worst fears from his time as a member of the Sinestro's Corps. Now a Green Lantern once more, Hal returns to Sector 2814 on a mission to stop Brainiac's invasion and prove to himself that he deserves a second chance at a brighter day. Now, I am someone, I'm sorry for all you Green Lantern fans, but I am someone who doesn't care for Green Lantern. I'm sorry. I have never cared for him. I thought he was kind of a weird, well, not weird, but kind of a, no offense, but kind of a stupid character. I just don't, I think it's kind of funny how a ring can create all these objects and stuff. I just find that kind of funny. I don't find it cool or anything. So sorry, all you Green Lantern fans. The one thing I will say, though, is that I think Green Lantern looks really awesome. I love the way he looks. He looks way better than he did in the first Injustice game. So, and his super move is really cool too, how he like creates like a robot or whatever, and then he like shoots you or something. Kind of similar to his one in the first Injustice game, but instead in the first one he's like hitting you with buses and jets and all that stuff. So overall, I'm not looking forward to Green Lantern because I've never cared for him. I know a lot of people like him, but I've never cared for him. So I'm not really looking forward to him, but you know, he could impress me just like most of the other characters in the game. Now up next we have one of the, if not the most obscure character in the game, and that is Firestorm. And now his quote says, "Leave now or you'll get a hell of a lot worse than a sunburn," which duh, he's gonna burn you. And his biography says, "Two minds sharing one superpowered body, Jason Rouge, sorry if I said that wrong, and Martin Stein are only beginning to master their abilities as Firestorm. However, Jason's brash personality with Martin's more impartial approach is no small task. While these two don't agree on much, one thing they never argue about is helping Batman rebuild a safer world." So we know that he's going to be on Batman's side. And he definitely looks like the dude from the CW's Legends of Tomorrow. I don't watch that show, but he does look like that, Firestorm. And since there is a character later in this video, you know, that's ice or whatever, so you gotta have fire, you know, just like in Mortal Kombat, because these are the people who did Mortal Kombat. You have Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So, of course, in Injustice 2, they have Firestorm and Captain Cold, which comes later. So, I don't really know what to expect from Firestorm. I'm looking forward to him. I'd love to see what he can do. I think his super is really badass, and I do love his winning pose. I love that because, you know, he starts flying in the air and just all the fire. It looks really cool. So I'm looking forward to what Firestorm does in Injustice 2. Up next, we have another character with green in their name, and that is, of course, Green Arrow. And his quote says, "This is one for the bucket list." And his biography says, "It's been a hard-traveled road of the Emerald Archer, as this Earth's Oliver Queen gave his life in the fight against the regime. Now, as an alternative Earth's Ollie steps in to honor that sacrifice, he will join his wife Black Canary in Batman's crusade to set things right." So, like I mentioned earlier with the Black Canary talking about her, I was wondering if we were going to see that relationship between the two, and duh, it's looking like we are, because I didn't know this, but I guess they're husband and wife in the game. Now, Green Arrow, I'm looking forward to Green Arrow. I think he looks really cool. Like, if he were to be in a movie, this is kind of how I would want him to look, but maybe not. I don't know. I just think the mustache looks weird, a little weird. I don't know if that's just me, but overall, I think Green Arrow looks really cool. He's probably going to be the same how he was in the first game, not much different. So, of course, you know, I'm looking forward to Green Arrow. Don't really know what we're going to see from him, but I'm looking forward to him. Next up, we have Black Adam, who I feel like is kind of a weird choice for the game, but I don't know. And his quote says, "Good and evil are not constants. They are defined by those with power," which, of course, you know, he believes he has a lot of power. And now his biography says, "After the fall of the regime, Black Adam returned to his home, defeated and humiliated. Staying hidden from Batman's watchful eye, Kondag," I might have said that wrong, sorry, "has become a safe haven for the regime's remnants. There they await the day that together they can restore the regime's rule upon the world." Now, like I said, Black Adam is kind of a weird character for me. I'm not necessarily looking forward to him. But Here's one thing. I think Black Adam is going to have a premiere skin now, because on the leaked list, it showed Black Adam, of course, and it had it like half and half. And on the top half, it was Black Adam, and on the bottom half, it was Shazam. So I think, if that, because that leaked list has been completely right, 100% so far, that Black Adam's going to have a premiere skin, and that will be Shazam. So overall, I don't think much is going to change with Black Adam. I'm not necessarily looking forward to him. I've never really cared for the character, but you know, there's probably people that love him. More power to you. But I guess we'll see what he brings in Injustice 2. Next up, we have Captain Cold, and his quote says, "Let's put you on ice." And his biography says, "Sworn to ending all crime, the regime hunted down and brutally executed every member of the Rogues, including Captain Cold's sister. Using his skills as a thief and his iconic Cold gun, Cold now seeks his vengeance. He'll gladly use the society to achieve it." So he is another member of the society. Now, I think Captain Cold looks really awesome, but here's the thing. I'm someone who has never liked Captain Cold. I've never cared for him. I mean, he definitely looks badass, but you know, what will really get on my nerves is if he has a lot of puns, kind of like his quote, "Let's put you on ice." If he does a lot of puns, that's going to get on my nerves. I've never cared for Captain Cold. I like that, you know, they're adding more Flash villains, because, you know, it seemed like in the first Injustice game, it was mainly Batman characters. So, you know, now they're adding some more Flash characters. Overall, though, I think he does look badass. It's just, I've never really cared for Captain Cold, but, you know, just like I've mentioned before, with some of these other characters, they could surprise me and I could end up liking the characters. But I will admit, though, his super move does look really awesome. And the last biography that we have so far, because then there's that whole bottom row, and that is Scarecrow. And now, I mentioned in the other part that Deadshot was one of the two characters I was really looking forward to, who I really anticipated, and this is the other character I'm really anticipated for, and that is Scarecrow. And of course, his quote says, "Everyone has something to fear," because he's obsessed with fear. Everybody should know that. And his biography says, "Scarecrow plays on the fears of the unknown to inflict terror on his victims. An anarchist obsessed with using chemistry and psychology to spread and study fear, he joins the society in order to sow panic on a global scale." Now, from the Shattered Alliance's Part 4 trailer, we know he's going to have his normal look where he's just a normal doctor with like a bag over his face. But then also there's this look that looks like a demonic Scarecrow, because apparently from the story he's dead and he gets brought back to life. I don't know. Now, why I'm looking forward to Scarecrow, because he's a very popular Batman villain. I love Scarecrow in the comics, and especially like in the video games, in the Arkham series, especially Arkham Knight, who's phenomenal in Arkham Knight. And also, I love that he's being voiced by Robert Englund. Now, for those of you who don't know who Robert Englund is, he was the original Freddy Krueger. You know, he's not the reboot version that was Jackie Earle Haley, which I would suggest to play Scarecrow in the live action movies. I feel like he would do really awesome. I love the voice of Scarecrow. I actually love the way he looked. When I first saw how he looked, I thought he looked weird. But, you know, after I saw him a couple times, especially on the console version, I think he looks amazing. And plus, you can probably have his original outfit where he's just a normal human with a bag over his head or something like that. And I definitely love the super move. I know it kind of seems basic, but I love how they kind of went with the Arkham style, where he gets sucked into like the nightmare world and he's just this giant being and he's just throwing you around and then he eventually throws you into a grave. I love that. I cannot wait to see what Scarecrow brings in Injustice 2. And so that finishes out all of the biographies that we have so far. So what characters are you looking forward to the most? Which characters do you not care for? Just in general, which characters do you like or dislike? And let me know in the comments below. And are you looking forward to an Injustice 2? Now, of course, that is all the biographies that we have so far. So make sure to like and subscribe. And of course, as always, I would love to see you all next time.